Let's talk about your team. Let's talk about this tradition. You really have built a tradition here. What do you attribute that to?
We have kids that have solid work ethic and they just buy in. I don't have to beg and plead for kids to come into summer workouts. They all come in, they all lift their weights, they do their conditioning, they know it's important, and then we get leadership from the upper grades then just telling the lower grades that this is what we do, this is what we expect, and once you get that rolling, it makes all the difference in the world.
How much involved are you in the middle school programs?
I try to watch them as much as I can. It conflicts some. I have a good relationship with our junior high coach, Cheryl Martin. We make sure that we run similar systems so that way the girls understand kind of what's going on up here. And we're going to try to start getting more of the junior high girls involved and helping the high school girls sometimes with like managerial type duties and stuff, and just making sure that the pipeline just kind of remains kicking through.
You have a family too.
Yes.
Makes it a little challenging, I think, at times. 3 or 4 boys, I think it is. What is it?
4 boys.
4 boys. How do you
9 to 1.
How do you mix that?
Well, day to day, I think it's constantly just trying to figure out, okay, where are the boys going to be? Who's going to watch them? If they're going to be here, you know, what can I do to make sure they're occupied and not in the middle of the court? My oldest is definitely getting more and more mature and wanting to help out. So I also see him wanting to sit behind the bench, fill water bottles and stuff like that. So they really get into it. They enjoy it. So
when it comes to game time, it's good to have grandma around, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. Both grandmas are a huge help to me.
Well, let's talk about the opponents and your conference, the league. Mm-hmm. See yourself as the favorite?
I don't know about favorite, but we should be up there like we usually are. I see Golden Plains as being pretty strong. I know they lost a pretty premier senior, but they've got a good pipeline of girls coming up. And Logan always seems to come up with something. Robin's a great coach, and their team is always solid. So,
what about the state? What about the one classification? Went back to the one class last year. Makes the state tournament really, really tough, I think. Do you like it? Do you think it's good or not?
You know, it was a really different experience for us. In our pool last year, we played Olpe, which was normally a 2A school, and then they got moved down with the new classifications. But I like the challenge. I'm not scared of the challenge, and I have no problem with it. Class 1A is going to continue to be pretty strong. We have a good team in the area in Western Kansas and Spearville. They didn't really lose much from last year. Centralia will still be strong. They're going to have a new coach, so that will be a completely different thing than what we're used to. But Class 1A, I think, has a lot of really good athletes, and I think it's good to showcase the smaller schools and even with us, and you know, able to prove that we can still get to that level. It was exciting last year.
Well, listen, speaking of showcasing, OpenSpaces Sports enjoys showcasing you and your team. We're going to do it again.
I'm very grateful for this service and all of the advertisers that make it possible for our kids.
Shannon, thank you and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Shannon Foster visiting with us, the head volleyball coach of the Thunderhawks of Wheatland Grinnell High School. You can catch the Thunderhawks on OpenSpacesSports.com.